distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, to the people of the nation of the United States of Africa and its treasury, I am here to address our nation, the United States of Africa, and its counterparts, the Defense Committee, and all of the states that has already initiated its Defense Committee IC in charge. I call out to the ancestors to surround this platform in great morality and power. I call out into the motherland of Africa, to my brothers, sisters, elders, and everyone who's in support, especially in Ghana and Zimbabwe, as we near our destiny toward global power under a sovereign economic platform, not only for Africans in America, but to Africans who are living abroad. I am here today not as a political component, but as an African in America who has been under this geographical jurisdiction for nearly 33 years among a government who has unjustifiably gone into all nations and have committed many crimes. This government here in America tells you not to drink alcohol, but it is a government seal that has to be broken in order for you to drink the alcohol. This government will lock its citizens up for shooting each other down, yet it will send its same citizens into other nations to murder innocent men, women, and children. This government would charge and fine its own citizens for health care, but it is in Africa where the standard of health care is a human right, so much so that the health care in American jurisdictions is free. American people, we must rise. We must rise and fight diligently to show the world that war is in our spirit, and we must support this United States of Africa if we are to give birth to our own power and military that will respond to the police brutality of our children in a way that always, or in a way that will say that if you take one of our children's lives, we will take 3 of your own. To all of our black brothers and sisters in the military of America, I emphatically say to you to come home and join us, for it is the same government sending you into combat to murder innocent lives, and the very same government that you are fighting for is not taking care of you when you come home. So now our home is built, my fellow Africans in America, the United States of Africa, the United States of Africa that has a 3-year plan. And this is a system set up as to help Africans in America to become more self-dependent by giving us a platform and initiating our treasury that will in 3 years give us our own operation and educational facilities. Our educational facilities that will stand firm, our health care facilities, and our own banking and loaning systems. We will have a credit line available to those who are on record with the United States of Africa Treasury Department, in which this credit line will be based upon the population goal census, that is, whatever it met or has met upon these 3 years. If we can get at a minimum 1 million of our own people to give $1 a week, which is $52 a year, this will give us enough ground to initiate our own economy. Our goal under our blueprint diagram is the minimum of 1 million population rate, which will also distribute an automatic credit line to our people. This credit line will only be afforded to those who are on record with us with the account of the overall census and finances, which will be displayed on our Treasury website. Our website will be updated every month for you to analyze the growth rate of financial growth and population growth within this foundation. The population number assigned to you will be used to identify that you are in the system and to also check on inside financial status inclinations within the account. I conclude to say to my critics that has been responding in reference to the land being of value. It is not the land that is of value. It is the military that protects the land from thieves such as those in the American government that is of value. We can buy land for cheap for the next 10 years, but we cannot, or what can you do if someone decides to come with their army into your land to take it away from you? White people do not fear you buying land for cheap. The white man fears the unison of a military that can protect it once it is bought. It is time, my people, to come together, not to march, but to make an example as the universe is playing her part to assist us in this. Peace, love, and power. I'll be now taking questions.
Okay, one of my questions is, with this 3-year plan you have, what are some of the things you want to do to, as you spoke on the military and in your organization, to make sure that the plan goes into effect and is successful?
Well, one thing about the United States of Africa is that we are not connected to any governmental systems or any type of internal revenue systems. We are our own sovereign nation. We have our own military, and anyone within the confines of our nation, if they run into it with the law within the American corporations, if they have any fines with the American corporations, if they are on any probation with the American corporations, within this 3-year span, once we pull you in off record, you will have no say-so to American corporations. We have our own military. So if you shoot down one of the United States of Africa's children, we come down and shoot yours.
Right.
This is a threat, and this is a reality. Because a lot of people say what I'm saying is crazy, but someone must stand up. We must not sit back and say, well, there's a time and place. For a time and place is now. The past, the future, and the past, and the future and the present all coincides with each other. So we can't sit back and keep watching our children get shot down. All right?
Righteous. Now, will this business or will this organization be doing business with the white man, or will we just avoid it in all?
No. No other culture is allowed into this organization. Even when we have our meetings. Right now we have about 11 defense committee in charge commanders all over the United States right now as we speak. That's putting things together as far as recruitment. We will be having a meeting once a month, and the way that we would display our meetings is not the official date in which we display it on social media, but it'll be thrown off for the agents who think that they can come in among us.
Right.
Because in order to get into the meetings, you must have a number within the United States Treasury.
So now with this number, I know you spoke about agents. Like, how are you going about making sure they never get into it? I mean, is that number something you're going to check on yourself, or is other people checking on this number inside the organization? You don't have to reveal everything.
Well, I'm not going to go too far into it.
Okay.
We do have a few people within the international confines of Africa that is actually working close with us, who's given to us, but I won't display any names due to political reasons.
Okay.
Sometimes it's a chess game, and you got to know when to move.
Right.
And I play very close with the queens. Why? Because the queen can go anywhere she wants to.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So it's the queen who protects the kings. And why I'm saying that, it's more queens inside of our military than kings.
Right.
We have kings now, but the queens are here too. So the thing is this right here. You cannot come into our organization, well, not our organization, but into our nation, and feel like you are being threatened by any other confines of corporations around you. We got your back. You cannot come in and shoot our kids down. You will not harm our women. There will not be any type of dismoralities within our confines of the unified United States of Africa. You understand what I'm saying? So we have our own laws, which is the 42 negative professions of Mayat. We have balances. We utilize number 19, meaning that you are allowed to use defense whenever it's necessary.
Right.
So the thing is right here, we've been in America ever since they brought us here. Everything that we have been in confines of, as far as healthcare, as far as education, is not doing good. It's falling. Our children graduating, reading at a 3rd grade level. Why? Because they're going into an educational system that's not teaching them their real history. You can't send an eagle to the school of a chicken and expect it to learn its history, even though both are birds. A lot of people say we the same. Of course we the same. We live in a world together. But again, red ants and black ants do not move together.
Nope.
They stick together and they don't call each other racist. Like I say, I cannot be racist because
Right.
it was here before I came out of my mother's womb. Number one, I'm not here to stir up any type of animosity. It's just that Africans in America need their own economic foundation. We need our own military. We're getting shot down. So we need to send a message out that every time they shoot one of ours down, we're coming for you. Marching is not going to do it. See, a lot of Farrakhan's followers, I know I say I won't want to speak on behalf of Farrakhan no more, but again, all they doing is marching. And they're getting rich. The private corporates getting rich. Every time they have a march, the private corporations get the money, they get on the airplanes, and they go into their vacations. We can't afford that anymore. So after 3 years, they got 3 years to get it together.
Right.
You understand what I'm
So
saying?
how do you perceive the, not to say that you even taking it to hand, but how do you perceive the criticism and the negative comments from individuals who say, well, Malcolm did what he did, Elijah did what he did, this leader did what they did, so what makes you any different? How do you feel about that, and what do you think that does to the black community at hand?
Not to down Malcolm or to down Elijah Muhammad, but they did the very same thing as far as it was a speech thing to them.
Right.
See, with us, we have to move a revolution. The universe is going into a revolution. When you put the R to evolution, it becomes revolution.
Right.
So we all agree that the universe is evolving, but it's also revolving. So anytime something revolves or evolves, something new is coming out of it, and it's getting rid of something old. So the ways of our thinking is different now. The ways of our, the ways of our thinking should be different.
Right.
Because if the universe is thinking different now, we have to think different now. So if we marched 15 years ago and it didn't work, we can't march today. You get what I'm saying? So no, a lot of our children today being shot down, pumped full of medications in the educational system. Our brothers being locked up, coming home, can't even, they They can't go get jobs. They can't get housing or anything like that. So why keep begging America for housing and jobs when they come home?
Right.
Because the prison system is a private corporation.
Absolutely.
So it's a mechanism to keep them within the confines of their so-called legal system. So we have to create something for our black men with felonies, so they can come in and get their loans as well. Because you know what I mean. Because they say that you should practice forgiveness. This is the American standards. They say practice forgiveness, but the very thing that we're doing, they doing it too, but doing it legal.
Right.
You know, they get us for selling drugs. The pharmaceuticals doing the same thing, but they doing it legal. They get us for shooting and killing people, but they doing the same thing over in other countries, but they doing it legal.
Right.
So again, we have to stand up. It's time for us to move forward. Again, the United States of Africa, Osei Kufuor. If you want to be a number, if you want to get a part of our nation, just go to unitedafricatreasury.webs.com. It's unitedafricatreasury.webs.com. The number is 434-444-8005. Come with us, get your number, get your protection, and in 3 years, I guarantee you, we'll be on top.
Righteous.
Peace.